Hey, boys.
Roblox is a vibrant and creative space where millions of players come together to build, play, and share their own games. However, beyond the surface of fun and endless entertainment, strange and eerie things sometimes happen, things that aren't shared publicly or talked about in the open. These mysterious events rarely get posted on social media, leaving only those who experience them with the unsettling memories. Today I'm going to share a particularly bizarre account of something that happened to a Roblox player, an incident involving an encounter that wasn't just uncomfortable, but deeply unsettling. This story revolves around a mysterious user with the name Foran and the strange interaction that took place. Before we jump into it, remember that this type of content takes a lot of effort to create, so if you could leave a like and subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. Also, apologies if I sound a bit off, I'm battling a cold, but I didn't want to skip recording this video. Anyway, let's dive into this strange tale. The Legend of Foran, Charlie. The story takes place a year or two ago, though it didn't receive much attention at the time. Despite being relatively unknown, it's one of those tales that sticks with you because of how unnerving it is. The person who originally shared this story didn't provide their real name, so for the sake of this retelling, we'll call them Charlie. It all began in December, during the winter break. With school out of the way, Charlie was free to enjoy his time playing Roblox without any worries. Like many of us, he turned to his favorite games to pass the time. He wanted to invite his friends to play along with him, but unfortunately, most of them were busy somewhere out running errands. Others were at the mall or tied up with family obligations. Feeling a bit disappointed but still eager to play, Charlie decided to hop into some Roblox games on his own. That's when he received an unexpected notification from a user named Foran. The message caught him off guard. It wasn't just a random friend request or a standard greeting. Instead, it was a personal message saying, "Hey, I think your game is really good. You should check out the map I've built. It's awesome." Now, here's where things start to get strange. Charlie had no memory of ever adding this user as a friend. In fact, he didn't recognize the username at all. He hadn't followed Foran and she hadn't followed him. So, how did this person even send him a message? Was it some kind of glitch or maybe a bot? Charlie's mind raced with these thoughts as he read the message again, trying to make sense of it. Still a little confused, but not wanting to be rude, Charlie decided to respond. He thanked her for the compliment and politely asked, "Who are you? Are you a friend of someone I know?" After waiting for what felt like an eternity, Foran finally replied, "I don't know them, but please come check out my map. It's going to be so much fun." That's when the uneasy feeling started creeping in. Who was this person? And why were they so insistent that he join their game? Even more unsettling was the fact that this person seemed to have found a way to contact him out of nowhere. Despite his growing discomfort, Charlie tried to shrug it off and continued playing his own game, deciding to ignore her messages. The relentless invitations. Unfortunately, Foran was not about to give up. Over the next half hour, her messages kept coming in. She was persistent, almost desperate, continuously asking Charlie to join her map. The frequency of the messages increased, making Charlie feel more annoyed than anything else. In his mind, he reasoned that this might be some kind of bot that had malfunctioned, or maybe just a very bored player trying to mess with him. Fed up with the constant interruptions, Charlie finally caved. He figured that if he joined her game for a few minutes, she might leave him alone. So with a sigh, he clicked the link to join her map. When the map loaded, Charlie was greeted by a scene that was both familiar and strange. It was a basic Roblox map, much like the default one you get when you first create an account. But something was off. The entire world was bathed in a soft pink hue, with fields of flowers, kittens, and puppies scattered around. It was cute, but in a way that felt unnatural. Almost like it was trying too hard to be comforting. Immediately after he entered the map, Foran started bombarding him with cheerful messages. "Yay, you're here and I'm so glad you joined." It was as if she had been waiting eagerly for him to show up. At first, the conversation was harmless. They talked about pets. She mentioned how much she loved dogs and cats and how her favorite snack was cookies. It seemed innocent enough. After about 30 minutes of this, she told Charlie that her mom had called her to bed and that she had to log off. They both left the game and Charlie assumed that was the end of it. A week later, things get weirder. A full week passed without any more messages from Foran, and Charlie had almost forgotten about the strange encounter. But out of the blue, she messaged him again, asking if he would join her map for another game, just like before. Charlie, a bit curious now, decided to accept the invitation. But when he entered her map this time, something had changed. Foran wasn't the same cheery avatar from before. Her character's expression was different. Her usual happy face was now replaced with a sad and unsettling frown. The change in her demeanor made Charlie uneasy. He asked her if something was wrong, but she avoided the question, instead asking him if he had ever eaten dog or cat meat. Charlie was stunned. Why would anyone ask something like that? He tried to laugh it off, assuming it was some weird joke, but she kept pushing. She asked if he had ever killed an animal or if he liked the taste of raw meat. The questions became more disturbing with every message. Feeling extremely uncomfortable, Charlie asked her to stop, but she refused. She told him that he couldn't leave the game until he answered her questions. Panicking, Charlie immediately closed the game, blocked Foran in, and swore to never play with her again. The teleportation incident. You'd think that would be the end of it, but no. Even after blocking her, Charlie started receiving messages from Foran again, this time filled with anger. She was furious that he had ignored her, and she threatened him, saying that he would regret not answering her questions. One day, while playing a different game in Roblox, Charlie was suddenly teleported out of his session and back into Foran's map without warning. This time, her avatar was even more terrifying. Blood was dripping down her face, and she just stood there staring at him without saying a word. Charlie was paralyzed with fear. He had no idea how she managed to teleport him into her game or why she was doing this. But before he could log out, she sent one final message. "It's getting a little hot in here, don't you think?" At that moment, Charlie smelled something burning in real life. He turned around to see his kitchen was on fire. He raced to put it out, but the whole event left him completely shaken. Was this just an eerie coincidence, or had something more sinister crossed over from the game into the real world? And that's the unsettling story of Charlie and Foran. It's hard to say whether this was some kind of elaborate prank or if there was something supernatural involved. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future creepy stories like this one. Thanks for watching and sweet dreams.